Have you ever woken up feeling exhausted, even after a full night's sleep? How many times have you reached for your phone, checked the news or your emails, and within minutes, your mind is already flooded with anxiety, pressure, and things you simply can't control? Have you ever started your day feeling empty, as if every effort is just chasing goals that never seem enough? Maybe you've faced failure, a crisis, or the quiet loneliness that can creep in amid the rush of daily life. If so, you're not alone. Every morning is a new chance to renew yourself. Yet most of us step into the day with a restless mind, swept away by work, news, social media, and everything beyond our reach. The Stoics believed that morning is the only moment when we can truly claim control over our minds, before the world tries to do it for us. Because you become what you repeatedly think, and morning is where those thoughts begin. On this journey, you'll discover 12 lessons, 12 pieces that form a kind of mental armor to protect your mind each morning. Stick with it, step by step, because in the very last lesson, you'll find the most valuable gift of all, the freedom and inner strength that no one and no circumstance can ever take from you. 1. Start the morning in stillness. Do you realize this? Every morning, no matter how brief, is a silent promise that says, today you can start again. Maybe you've spent sleepless nights wrestling with worries that have no clear answer. Maybe the moment you open your eyes, you're swept up in a whirlwind work messages, emails, social media, numbers dancing on screens, signaling another day's pressure waiting for you. Most of us let that very first moment slip away into a sea of noise, so our minds are already drowning before they've even had a chance to get up. But here's the thing. That exact moment when the world outside is still quiet, when it's just you with yourself, is the crucial key. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Your mind will be like its habitual thoughts, for the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." That isn't just a reminder, it's a truth proven through countless generations. The first thoughts you have in the morning color your entire mindset. They decide how you'll face challenges and even shape how you see yourself. So, what's the solution? It's simple. Start with stillness. Ask yourself, this morning, before you reached for your phone, did you actually connect with your own breath? Have you ever let yourself just sit down, close your eyes, and simply feel your breath moving in and out, no rush, no judgment? Maybe you're thinking, I'm too busy, I'm not a monk. But the truth is, you don't need to be a Greek philosopher to practice this. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, is famous for spending a few quiet minutes each morning, no matter how packed his Wall Street schedule is. Instead of diving straight into emails or meetings, he chooses to sit alone, breathe deeply, and organize his mind. This small habit helps Dimon stay clear-headed, self-controlled, and make wise decisions in the high-pressure world of finance. And you can do this too. Try starting with just 5 minutes. Set an alarm and find a quiet corner. You don't have to meditate in any traditional way, just breathe slowly and feel life's rhythm. If you want, you can stretch lightly while tuning into your body, or get up and take a slow walk outside, feeling the wind, noticing awareness in every step. If you like to write, grab a small notebook and jot down a few lines about your mood in the morning. It doesn't have to be poetic, just honest. What will you discover? At first, it might feel awkward or uncomfortable, but gradually you'll notice a quiet strength rising within you. That stillness doesn't make you weaker, on the contrary. It's the foundation for all discipline, the open space where wisdom and initiative take root. We often think we need to rush to keep moving forward, but sometimes sitting with your breath, with thoughts not yet fully formed, is the only way to truly start your day, not just to exist, but to take charge. Are you ready to try? Just 5 minutes before the world reaches for you, reach for yourself first, with stillness and complete presence. That's the very first step on the journey to forging your mental armor every morning. A journey where you, and only you, get to choose. 2. Remember you will die. Imagine this. You're at a never-ending buffet, with the best dishes in the world served one after another. At first, you feel like the king of your own life. Everything's abundant, every choice within reach. But then, the excitement starts to fade. The dishes you once craved become nothing more than names. You keep eating out of habit, no longer tasting the flavors. Suddenly, the feast ends. You stand there staring at the empty table, regretting that you never truly savored each dish, never cherished those small moments. In that instant you realize you've been living as if everything lasts forever, when in fact, every feast, even life itself, has its limits. Is your daily life any different? How many mornings do you wake up, rushing straight into work, emails, and the news? How many times do you run on autopilot, letting time slip by without a moment's reflection? The real danger isn't death itself, but forgetting that we're alive right here, right now. The Stoics remind us of memento mori, remember you will die. Not to plant fear, but to jolt you out of your routine, out of numb repetition. When you know that every feast has an end, you can't help but ask, if today were my last day, what would I do differently? Would you have the courage to say what you've never said, spend time with those you love, try something you've always held back from? Or would you keep letting the days slip through your fingers, only to regret it when it's all over? It's our limits that make every moment precious. Memento mori doesn't steal your joy, it gives it back. It sharpens your awareness, reminds you to pause, to choose what truly matters. It's a mirror for you to reflect on yourself, so that every morning you wake up and ask, what would I regret most if I lost today? And from there, you live differently, boldly, with purpose, without delay, refusing to let trivial things sweep you away from what's truly meaningful. Practice this each morning, just for a minute. Remind yourself that time is limited. Live every day to the fullest, so that when the feast of life ends, you can smile, knowing there's nothing left to regret. 3. Choose your first thought. When you walk into a sushi restaurant, you see small pieces of sushi moving along the conveyor belt. Some dishes look appealing, some aren't to your taste, and some you don't even glance at. But you're not obligated to eat everything that passes by. You make choices. You observe, consider, then reach out for the dish you want. If a piece of sushi doesn't look good, you simply let it pass without regret. In reality, the stream of thoughts in your mind each morning works the same way. They move continuously, just like those plates of sushi on the conveyor belt. Sometimes it's a worry, sometimes a memory, at other times it's a negative feeling or an unfulfilled expectation. But you don't have to consume every thought. You can choose. You can let a weary thought drift by without letting it dictate your day. The Stoics made it clear, you cannot control circumstances, but you can control your response. Your first thought in the morning, the way you pick your first plate of sushi, can shape your entire mindset for the day. You might have felt before, here comes another exhausting day, I'm not ready. That's a thought, but it's not the final truth. It's just another plate of sushi passing by. You have the right to pick a different thought. Today I have a chance to practice. It may sound simple, but this one change can ease the pressure, give you a sense of agency, and open up a different state of mind. But how do you actually change? We all carry years of experiences, biases, and reflexes. Old thoughts have become habits. Breaking out of them isn't easy, but it isn't impossible either. Try this practical approach. Spend a few minutes at the end of each day or the next morning to reflect. Ask yourself, did I let a negative thought lead me this morning? Did a minor interaction with someone plant frustration, doubt, or discouragement in my mind? What could I have done differently? Looking back, you'll see. At any moment, you can choose a second thought. You are not a victim of your first thought. You are the one who decides what to believe, what to hold on to, and what to let go. This is the art of training the mind. Recognize your thoughts, accept their presence, then choose your response. Over time, you'll find that you can reshape your patterns of thinking, break old habits, and gradually build your inner strength. You don't have to be perfect. Each morning, just remember, you have the power to choose a new thought, a nourishing plate of sushi for your mind. And you already have that ability within you, no matter how chaotic life gets. Wishing you a good day, starting with a wise first choice for your mind. 4. Practice gratitude. If you've realized that gratitude is one of the practices that make you happier, you're already holding an advantage. You're ready to make an effort and truly commit to being more grateful every day. But in reality, for most of us, gratitude doesn't just bloom on its own, especially amid the fast pace of modern life, where good things are easy to overlook, while worries, pressures, comparisons, and desires linger in our minds from morning to night. Let me ask you, have you ever felt like you wake up in a state of lack, as if there's always something missing in your life? Maybe your work feels incomplete, your finances bring worry, your health isn't ideal, or your relationships still have distance. All these feelings of not enough gradually wear down your spirit, making it hard to find joy in even the simplest things. The philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This isn't just a motto to hang on the wall, it's a practical guide. Gratitude doesn't just help you see what you have, it soothes the anxiety over what you haven't yet achieved. Practicing gratitude is the art of shifting your mind from a state of scarcity to a sense of abundance. Take a moment to pause any time in your day. It could be early in the morning, during lunch, when you power down your computer at the end of the day, or right before bed. Think of 3 to 5 things you are grateful for. They can be small: a dryer that's finally fixed, a flower blooming outside your window, a loved one remembering to buy what you need. Or they might be big: your child's first steps, a word of encouragement at the right time, the presence of someone who's always stood by you. Sometimes gratitude is simply about reminding yourself of your own strengths, the opportunities you have, or the times you overcame adversity. Try writing them down or just think about them. Many studies have shown that practicing gratitude just once a week is enough to increase your happiness and inner peace. Gratitude doesn't ask you to be perfect. It only asks that you're awake enough to notice, recognize, and appreciate the little things around you. That's the solid foundation that helps your mind stay steady through life's ups and downs. 5. Define what's in your control. In this increasingly complex world, we are often faced with countless challenges that leave us feeling overwhelmed and powerless. News pours in from every direction, markets fluctuate, and our health and relationships turn out to be more fragile than we think. So many things that occupy our minds each day are truly beyond our control, and yet somehow our thoughts keep getting swept up in endless worry and speculation about things that haven't even happened. This isn't just a habit, it's a trap, and the price we pay is our inner peace. Perhaps you've had days like this. You wake up still feeling tired, reach for your phone, and read a few lines of bad news or a surprise email. Instantly, your mood plummets. Anxieties about the future flare up, and your mind starts conjuring every negative scenario. The feeling of helplessness rises because it seems everything is out of your reach. In that moment, it's hard to realize that it all starts with your thoughts. Dr. Shannon Irvine, a neuropsychologist, once said, "Thoughts come before emotions. If you repeat negative thoughts long enough, your brain will automatically choose that path. That's why we get stuck in uneasy emotions." Epictetus, the Roman Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not." The real question here isn't, how do I control everything? But rather, where will I place my power? What will I invest my energy in? Whenever I notice my mind drifting into invisible worries, I remind myself to pause. I grab a pen and paper and draw 2 columns, within my control and outside my control. On one side are the things I can decide, choose, or improve: my actions, my attitude, my discipline, my own attention. On the other are all the things beyond my reach: the weather, other people's thoughts, societal changes, final outcomes. With just that simple act, I feel lighter. The anxiety fades as I come back to what I can truly own. This isn't about denying difficulties or running away from reality. It's how Stoics stay grounded in the storm. When we focus on what's within our hands, every action gains meaning. Each small step helps build inner strength. And then peace arrives not from the outside, but from the power you take back for yourself each morning. 6. Read or reflect on wisdom. For me, waking up has always been a challenge. There are mornings when, as the alarm rings, my first feeling isn't excitement, but a vague anxiety, sometimes even an unnamed sadness. I used to think I just needed a change of place, a change of schedule, maybe a new coffee. But all those life hacks never truly helped me overcome the emptiness I felt when facing a new day. There was a time when I believed I just wasn't made for a morning routine. But everything changed when I tried spending the first 30 minutes of my day just reading not emails, not news, not social media, but words of wisdom. I don't tie myself down to any particular book. It could be a passage from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, a letter from Seneca, or simply a short sentence in Epictetus's The Enchiridion. Sometimes I find wisdom in an article, an old story, or even in a message from a seasoned friend. To me, a text of wisdom is anything that makes me pause, reflect on how to live, on how to stay resilient through storms, and reminds me of what truly matters. At first, this habit felt like a quiet prayer. But the more I read, the more I realized. Each morning I was planting a seed of the right thoughts in my mind. And the surprise was that seed didn't just sprout in those 30 minutes of morning calm. It made me want to read more in the afternoon, in the evening, like a delicious piece of bacon that makes you crave another bite. Gradually, I saw that the more I read, the more I listened to those who had gone before me, the more my mind opened up, softened, and grew more confident to embrace a new day. Don't leave your mind defenseless against the storms of daily life. Read, reflect. Plant a seed of wisdom for yourself every morning, because that is the strongest spiritual armor you can give yourself. Thank you for accompanying me through half of this journey. Let's keep going together until the very last lesson, because ahead of us are many more keys to building a mind that is stronger, freer, and more at peace every single day. 7. Visualize challenges. All around the world, people have turned to countless techniques to prepare their minds, from meditation and prayer to visualizing the future. But perhaps you've heard someone dismiss visualization as nothing more than wishful thinking, unrealistic, or even tinged with mysticism that rational people should avoid. The truth is very different. You don't need any spiritual beliefs to harness the power of visualization. Psychologists have studied visualization techniques and found that the human brain responds powerfully to whatever we imagine, whether good or bad. There's an art that Stoic philosophers called premeditatio malorum, envisioning challenges, setbacks, and even loss before they happen. This isn't about spreading fear. It's about training your mind to be proactive and resilient. Have you ever started a new day hoping everything would go smoothly, only to have a single harsh word or an unexpected situation ruin your mood and send your emotions into a downward spiral? I think everyone has experienced that. But what if this morning you asked yourself, maybe today someone will disappoint me. Maybe I'll make a mistake. Maybe the weather won't be as nice as I'd like. And I'll accept that and choose to stay calm. When challenges actually arise, you'll find that your mind is no longer caught off guard. Your emotional reactions decrease. You feel more in control, more at peace. This is a practical skill, not just theory. Remember, even professional athletes visualize the worst-case scenarios to stay composed in competition. It's just like the song "Here Comes the Sun" by the Beatles, where every lyric reminds us that after every winter, light returns if we're ready for even the darkest days. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. I invite you. For the next 3 days, spend 3 minutes each morning visualizing a negative situation that could happen. Take a deep breath and face it with a calm mind. If you're willing to try, leave a comment saying, "I can do it," because sometimes all it takes is a small step of intention to change your whole outlook for the day. 8. Exercise the body, train the mind. You may already know that you need to train your body, but do you realize that training your mind is just as important? You've probably heard the old saying, use it or lose it. Many researchers believe this wisdom applies just as much to brain health. Just as your body needs care and regular exercise throughout life, so does your brain, especially as we age. Lifting weights builds stronger muscles, but strengthening your mental muscles is how you sharpen memory, focus, mental speed, communication skills, intelligence, and orientation. But in reality, how many times have you told yourself, "I'll exercise more, I'll live with more discipline," only to be pulled away by work, pressure, or simply the habit of procrastination? How often have you felt like you no longer have the strength to change? Maybe you once believed that staying active only mattered when you were young, and that as adults, all we need is willpower and mental toughness. In truth, body and mind are inseparable. A neglected body will drag your spirit down, while a heavy, burdened mind will cause your body to surrender to the everyday challenges much sooner. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus once emphasized, "Physical pain is a natural part of life, but your attitude in facing and overcoming it is what defines your character." Modern science agrees. According to a major 2023 study by Raji and colleagues, scientists analyzed the brain data of over 10,000 adults. The results revealed that just 25 minutes of moderate exercise per week, like brisk walking or cycling, led to significant increases in brain volume in many key regions, including gray matter, white matter, the hippocampus, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, and occipital lobe. These positive changes were directly linked to improvements in memory, concentration, and processing speed. Remarkably, this effect was seen in both young and middle-aged adults, showing that maintaining regular physical activity can protect and rejuvenate brain health at any stage of life. Maybe what you need isn't a body sculpted like stone, but a simple commitment, a morning walk, a few push-ups, or a light yoga session. You're not working out to impress anyone with your physique. You're doing it to build discipline, to gradually strengthen the foundation of your self-control. When your body is awakened, your mind becomes more agile and clear. That's when you truly take charge of the day ahead. Training your body isn't just about keeping fit. It's a way to remind yourself that you deserve care and that you are strong enough to take control of your life, from every breath, every step, to every decision you make each morning. 9. Embrace discomfort. There are many ways we seek comfort in life. A warm morning shower, the gentle purring of a cat beside you, or a long night stretched out peacefully on the sofa without a single worry. Each of these moments brings a sense of ease and safety, sometimes even serving as a reward after a tiring day. But have you ever wondered, is comfort itself keeping you stuck in place? According to a study titled "Motivating Personal Growth by Seeking Discomfort," Caitlin Woolley and Ayelet Fishback, 2022, the desire for too much comfort can actually become a barrier to personal growth. When we only chase comfort, every small discomfort turns into a towering wall. But if you deliberately step into uncomfortable zones, those are the very places where doors to real growth and strength open up. The Stoics believed that difficulties are simply opportunities to practice virtue, not to prove yourself superior to anyone else, but to become stronger in the face of challenges. The US Navy SEALs have a famous saying, "Get comfortable being uncomfortable." They weren't born extraordinary. They became extraordinary because they faced cold, exhaustion, pain, and the fear of failure day in and day out. The comfort zone doesn't magically expand on its own. It only grows every time you choose to step outside it. So, How do you begin? It doesn't have to be anything grand. You can start with small challenges right in your morning routine. Take a cold shower instead of a warm one. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Hold back that first complaint of the day, even if you're dying to let it out. Go for a walk, do push-ups, practice yoga, not for anyone else, not for how you look, but for your own discipline. Every time you willingly embrace a little discomfort, you're forging mental armor for yourself. Those minor morning hardships, the chill, the grogginess, the uneasy feeling, help you stand firm against the bigger storms that the day might bring. You'll realize that inner peace isn't about avoiding difficulties, but about daring to face them and growing stronger with each small choice. That's the quiet gift discomfort brings. 10. Focus on today only. Making plans for the future and preparing carefully for the days ahead. Everyone has heard that this is the foundation of a fulfilling life and a regret-free old age. When you know where you're headed, you can devote your time, energy, and mind to what truly matters. You sidestep distractions and avoid wasting your youth on meaningless pursuits. Sounds logical, right? But there's a trap that ambitious men, those who are always concerned about tomorrow, often fall into. Living so much for the future that you lose the present. Overthinking, planning too far ahead, predicting every risk and uncertainty. These habits wear you down, stress you out, and sometimes even paralyze you. You end up chasing distant scenarios, not realizing that every morning, every hour slipping by is the only thing you truly have control over. And you lose it, bit by bit. At the other extreme, some people live recklessly for today, neglecting tomorrow and ignoring the consequences. They're willing to trade their entire future just to satisfy a fleeting moment, like selling their inheritance for a single meal. In the end, they push themselves into a future nobody wants. Stoic philosophy doesn't tell you to forget about the future, nor does it advise you to live carelessly in the moment. The Stoics emphasize, tomorrow is out of reach, and yesterday is gone. The only thing that truly belongs to you is today, the moment you're living right now. The solution? Simple but not easy. Every morning, sit down and write out the 3 most important things you need to do that day. Just 3. Then give them your full attention, your full presence, and all your energy. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed by endless to-do lists or far-off ambitions. Be fully present for today, and you'll naturally build a future that's solid and peaceful. The journey of training your mind doesn't end with what you do. It also lies in what you say. In the next lesson, we'll explore the power of intentional speech, a weapon as sharp as it is healing. Have you ever wondered whether your words are building something up or tearing it down? Don't miss it. 11. Speak with intention. Have you ever said something in the morning that lingered in your mind with regret until noon? A careless remark, a complaint, or even just a fleeting sigh sometimes leave you feeling weak, or worse, weighs down the person you were speaking to for the entire day. There are mornings when, before we've even finished our first sip of coffee, we've already let loose sharp arrows with our words, and then we spend the whole day restless, wondering, if only I had kept quiet or said something different, would everything feel lighter now? Perhaps you've realized by now, every word you say isn't just a sound that vanishes into thin air. It leaves a mark, sometimes a scratch, sometimes a streak of light. For grown men carrying the weight of so many pressures, impulsive words can often be the result of accumulated fatigue and anxiety. But that's exactly why the morning, when your awareness is still fresh, and your mind hasn't yet been cluttered by hundreds of outside influences, is the golden time to train your mind with every word you choose to speak. The ancient Stoic philosophers set themselves a rule: only say what is true, what is kind, and what is necessary, because every word can be a dagger or a remedy. Before you speak, try asking yourself, is this helpful? Will it ease someone's burden, help them feel steadier? Or is it just noise, or worse, a wound? We can't control everything the day throws at us, but we can master every word we choose to send out into the world. Start with your very first words each morning. Be more reserved, selective, even silent if you must. That's not timidity. That's the courage of someone who understands the power of language. You'll notice that when your words become a remedy, you're also healing yourself every morning, every day. And that's how you build inner calm and resilience, no matter what storms lie ahead. 12. End the morning with commitment. Have you ever noticed how every morning seems to pass by as nothing more than a series of familiar actions? You get ready, you write your to-do list, you read a few philosophical lines or motivational quotes. But then, the moment you step out the door, it feels like everything pulls you back into old routines, dragged along by pressure, fleeting emotions, or the invisible noise of the world. You find yourself asking, why do I lose myself so easily, even when I've just promised myself to live differently? I've been there too. There were mornings when I started out determined, but just a single phone call, an email, or even a stray look was enough to throw me off course. Do you see yourself in that? So often we're missing one thing: a genuine, clear, and meaningful commitment to remind ourselves to return to our core values. Stoicism teaches us that not all emotions are bad, but only when we can step outside that flow and observe it with reason can we truly be free. Try asking yourself, if I could choose just one thing to fully live by today, what would I commit to? Maybe it's staying calm in the middle of an argument. Maybe it's refusing to let anger dictate your actions, or simply it's choosing to act with integrity no matter what others do. A single morning commitment. Today, I will live guided by reason, not emotion, might seem small, but it's the anchor that keeps you steady amid life's storms. That commitment isn't some grand promise or hollow slogan. It's the final step of transformation from philosophy to action, from idea to reality. When you truly invest your heart into that morning commitment, you'll notice gradual, profound change. The chaos around you won't shake you so easily, and the storms within you start to fade into a gentle breeze. Ending your morning with a commitment lays the foundation for your entire day. You're no longer just an observer, but the one in control. Choose a promise to yourself and let it guide you through every challenge, steadier and stronger with each new day. Every morning is a forge for the mind, a place where you can reshape yourself through discipline, calm, and deep wisdom. These 12 Stoic lessons are not magic spells that will transform you overnight. They are a journey of practice, step by step, to build unwavering mental strength each day. You don't need to be perfect. All it takes is a few minutes of steady effort every morning to renew yourself. That's what truly makes a lasting difference. You cannot control the sunrise, but you can control the light within. Have you applied any of these 12 lessons to your own morning routine? Or do you have your own unique challenges you want to share? Leave a comment below. I want to hear your story. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more videos as we keep training our minds to grow stronger every day.